Hello and welcome to Cost Accounting. My name is Cami Wayne and I will help you navigate through this course and hopefully answer any questions that you have. The point of this video is just to get you familiar with how Blackboard is set up, where you would find your assignments, and how to find those due dates, and maybe some other information that you will need throughout the course. When you open up Blackboard, you're going to start on this announcement page. You should be getting these announcements in your email. If you have not, maybe send me a quick email and we'll figure out why. You will get an email or an announcement from me each week detailing out what you should be working on that week and those important due dates. Another way to find that information is to hit Syllabus and Schedule. This is all laid out here by week. As a reminder, this is only a 13-week course. We have 16 chapters to cover, so this does move kind of quickly. I would recommend maybe printing this out, crossing off things as you get them done, and that would help you keep on track. Another important item in this syllabus and schedule area is that syllabus. I want to go over just a couple things with you on that, but make sure you read the whole thing. The best way to get a hold of me is through email. I will get back to you within 24 hours unless it's a weekend and I have something going on. Otherwise, you can expect something back from me relatively quickly. Throughout, again, read the whole thing, but I did want to kind of highlight some of the important topics like your grades. We'll have homework. This is done in our Connect homework system. It's going to be 10 points per chapter. The majority of your semester is going to be working on this project. Don't get too scared about this because we work on this piece by piece and it's throughout the rest of the semester and it's not due until the end. But by the time we get to the end, you should be completed. We have some orientation points. That's just to help you get started. And then we will have 3 exams. These exams are covering various chapters, which you'll see in that schedule. The other things I do want to point out are these homework policies. So homework and exams can be submitted late, but I do not recommend it. It's a 10% per day penalty. So after 10 days, you're not going to get any points for any of that work. The orientation points and these project points, you need to submit timely so that you can get feedback from your peers throughout the process. This is really important to improve your project, and I'll talk about that a little bit later when we go through that aspect of the course. So make sure you submit that early. If not, you won't get as much feedback as you'll need. The exams are timed. You'll have 100 minutes to take these exams, and you can only open it once, so make sure you're ready to take it. I'll get you prepared for these exams. They're going to look a little bit like a couple multiple choice and then more problems just like your homework. So make sure you read through this whole thing. Know that there are different aspects of the college that are closed right now, but are available to you online. So just make sure you look and read through this entire thing. Moving forward, again, you can always have access to me through email, but if you really want to talk through something, I'd be happy to set up a web call with you to go over any kind of homework or any questions that you have. Just email me to set that up. When we get through this course, what this course does is kind of work on expanding your knowledge from managerial accounting. Because of that, there are some aspects of managerial accounting that you need to remember. And I know some of you, it may have been a while since you took that course. So I have these 5-minute videos here. All you have to do is click on any of these links. They're kind of separated by topic. So you can click on that link and just get a quick refresher of what that topic was about, and a good reminder. Hopefully that will trigger some of that knowledge from that managerial course. Most of your time will be spent in these learning by week category. You can see I have it broken down all by week. All your work for week 1 is going to be in week 1. So we'll tend to do about 2 chapters per week. First, I want to go over the orientation. This first week is going to be pretty busy. If you click on the orientation, I'll give you step-by-step instructions on what you need to do. As you can see, just go through this, do item by item, and make sure that you complete everything. There are points assigned to most of these items that you have to submit, like items 5, 6, and 7 are all worth 5 points each. So make sure you get that done. Once you're done with that, you can move on to start that first chapter. So when you get to the orientation folder, just do each of these one by one. Now going back to the learning by week and taking a look at chapter 1, this is what you should expect for each chapter. The first item is going to be your reading. If you choose to read online, this is your ebook link right here. I always include the PowerPoint slides because I find it useful to have someplace to take notes on while you're reading the chapter. Then I'm going to provide a study guide and example for each chapter. These are going to be just something for you to use as we work through these chapters, because there are a lot of chapters we go through, and a place to keep your notes organized, because we'll be able to use those on your exams. In each example and study guide, I go through a set of the homework to give you a good starting point. Some of these are some of the easier problems, because the point in this course is to really make you challenge yourself and think. The goal is to have you work in your groups, learn to work with each other, and learn to problem solve when you don't know how to do something. So I'll always get you started, but I really want you to work on expanding your knowledge. So along with these examples is another chapter example you can do for practice. This is going to be the same homework problem that I just walked through, but with different numbers to get you started to make sure you know how to do something. And then when you've completed that, none of that is worth points, but your homework is. You can click on your homework assignment and you can work on the homework that is assigned for points. I'll take you a quick look into this, except I can't log in. Yours is going to look a little bit different. So I can't get in. Okay, now you should be able to see the assignment here. When you click on that chapter 1 homework, you'll see the policies that are in place, and then you'll also see that warning that this is going to be reduced for 10% each day it's late, but on the homework you do have unlimited attempts. Once you get into that homework, you'll see you can answer the questions, you can check my work, you can hit submit. There's not a lot of homework for each chapter, but some of the questions are going to take a significant amount of time, because the whole idea is to get you thinking and working together. So maybe use those groups, and we'll talk about that in a second. So coming back to your Blackboard shell, you'll see chapter 1, chapter 2. This is also set up the same way, where you get those examples, you get your homework, And then finally, under each chapter, there's a smart book assignment. This is not worth any points, but it's a good gauge as to how well you understand the chapter. I would use this as a self-assessment. For chapters 1 and 2, we will not have an exam. These two chapters are basically some fundamentals you need to know but to build on, but are not test worthy, I would say. So moving on, you'll do that week by week, and then you'll see, like we did under the orientation tab, there's some, I'm going to come back here, you'll see some group posts. These are groups that have been set up, designed to help you work in small groups in this course. Because what we're going to look at next is this project. Again, this project is done over an entire semester. It's setting up a business, looking at alternatives, looking at your cost, volume, profit, trying to understand all that goes into making a business, making it successful, and then looking at different alternatives as to what could you do and what impacts that's going to have. So read through the instructions here. You're going to see a rubric on how you will be graded. There's a memo at the end as well as a video you will have to submit. But throughout this process, you're going to be using the discussion board to get feedback from your peers. When you submit anything to the discussion board, I will not personally review it for correctness. That's what your peers and your group are there to help with. So in each of your Blackboard shells, you should see a My Group. If you click on your My Groups and you click on Discussion Board, you'll see all the discussion board posts that you're going to have to do. Your groups are designed to be about 6 or 7 people, so it's a small group that you're working with. You're going to first introduce yourself so that you know who you're working with and you know a little bit about each other. In the second or it's the third week, you're going to start this project. All of the rest of your posts throughout this semester are in regards to your project. Again, when you're submitting these posts, it'll be like your fees that you're going to charge, the costs that go into it. You'll be submitting some financial statements. I will not be reviewing those for accuracy at that point. It's your job to help each other make sure you have the best project that you can. So when you do submit it for final grading, that it's you're going to get all the points. Another item I set up in your discussion board is the ask for help. This is only going to go back and forth to your 6 or 7 people in your group. I would highly recommend using this for your homework and project questions that you come across, and make sure you utilize each other and help each other out. Also in the My Groups tab, you'll be able to start a bunch of different things, whatever you want to work with, so that you can communicate with each other. Whether you're trying to send files to each other, you can do that here. You can send emails to the whole group. You can start a group blog, which just talks back and forth to each other. So use what you want to communicate, play around with it a little bit, and make sure you get to know your group. Because going back in that first week, one of your assignments in that orientation is to come up with a group name. So after you introduce yourself, you might want to use one of those tools to figure out a group name. Only one person has to submit this assignment from your group, and then we'll name that. The whole point of that is just to help you get familiar with these groups. And I think that is about it. Make sure you play around in Blackboard. Make sure you register